Welcome to Yoga Marketer, the podcast for yoga teachers everywhere. Now you're a part of a small group of yoga teachers trying to change the world by sharing your passion for yoga. We do this by learning how to market your yoga business, but because this important topic was left out of your yoga teacher training, we have to learn it, live it, and share it. In this podcast, we will give you a glimpse of how to market your yoga business. Welcome back to Yoga Marketer. This is Rafael Arce, and today we're going to be talking about building a yoga teacher tribe. Yoga to unite. Sometimes when you go through yoga teacher training, you may specialize in vinyasa or restorative or yin, and you not may be able to know all the styles or even want to teach all the styles all at once. So it's really a good idea to start venturing off and building relationships with other yoga teachers. Whether you're opening a studio or you're doing something online, or you're doing something more of a hybrid model, consider the option of networking and connecting yourself with other yoga teachers who may specialize in something else. So for example, if you like to focus on vinyasa, you might want to find a restorative yoga teacher, a certified restorative yoga teacher. What this will do for you is that you'll be able to offer more classes to your tribe. You'll be able to offer more to your community by just building a teacher tribe. But it doesn't all come very easy as far as yoga and business. You know, they say that yoga and business doesn't mix, and it really doesn't. The only thing that you would have to understand is that yoga, and when you're still opening a yoga business, you have to run it like a business. And you will have teachers that say that they want to be there with you and help the community or hold the space for the community. And in the end, you know, they have their own agenda as well, whether it's opening their own yoga studio or eventually doing something else. So you have to make sure you do it right, set the foundation correct, so you don't have any hiccups down the road. So first off, building some connections. You could do this on LinkedIn. You could do this on Facebook groups. Reach out to someone in your community if you're planning to open a yoga studio. And look, from my experience, it's better to offer at least 3 different styles of yoga in your community, so you don't wear them out with just vinyasa. Sometimes yin or restorative are my other favorite because it's more of a fast, medium, and a slow pace, at least to start off. And if you don't have a relationship with some of these teachers, it's a good time to build them and build them for the future. Or if you're only offering one style at your studio right now, it may be a good idea to try different styles as well. So connecting with different yoga teachers. The other option that has gone through the yoga business industry is, should I pay my teachers a 1099 or should I put them on W-2, meaning they're an employee? There's a lot of pros and cons. I'm not a tax professional and this is not legal advice, so there's my disclaimer. First, you can look at it a couple of different ways. If you are going to save yourself a lot of money, then 1099 may be a better option. However, you may not let them, you can't tell them what to do. You can't tell them what to wear. You can't do a lot of things because they are independent contractors. So if they're promoting other classes or other studios or other workshops and driving people away from your studio, your hands are a little tied there. If you have them as an employee, you can have an employee handbook, which we have in our studio, and it sets some guidelines and rules of what's expected to be in the studio, like hygiene, what to wear, what not to wear, the type of music. Sometimes, there's the studios with heavy metal, that's just not an option. In the studio that we have, it's just not an option to have heavy metal with yoga. So you may have different points of views, and this is a great opportunity. However, it is a little bit more expensive. You have taxes and fees and all these other things that come with it as well. But building a yoga teacher tribe, a loyal yoga teacher tribe, is making sure you're taking care of them, not nickel and diming them. There's a lot of perks. Depending on where you live and how much you pay them, whether it's paying them a flat fee or paying them a flat fee and also paying them per head, meaning if they have 6 people in the room, we don't pay for the first 6 people. We'll pay for the let's say there's 7, then we'll pay them per head $1, $2, or $3. It just depends on I get this question a lot, and it really depends on your demographic, because you'll be able to afford that if you live in a dense, heavy populated area. And if you don't, if you live in a small town, this may not be an option, because it'll really start digging into your bottom line at the end of the day. So look at those 2 models, and sometimes it's also not so bad to have a hybrid, meaning you'll have some teachers that are not so experienced and don't really care much for the studio. They can just come in, teach, and leave. And then you'll have those that are really invested in really making sure that they keep the students coming back. And those are the ones you want to invest a little bit more time and money in as well. So we gauge the pay scale based on a review, whether it's 6 months or a year, to determine how has their performance been. And there's a lot of technology or software that you may or may not have access to right now that will give you a report of their attendance. That'll give you a report if they've upsold someone to a membership from just a single trial. Now, for the teachers, building a loyal teacher base is also giving them not necessarily all the freedom in the world, but enough freedom for if they have a passion for a certain workshop they would like to host, supporting them, just communicating with them to see what workshops they would like to see on the board, and being able to support that and being able to market that for them in a way where it helps the studio grow and it helps them as well. That could be a local yoga retreat as well. The local yoga retreat is something that you can support where a teacher can go and host that, and not necessarily that you have to do all the work as a yoga business owner. So supporting them in their journey with your studio or your yoga business is one. And then 2, making sure you're communicating with them. It's very important to have some sort of private panel, a Facebook group just for your teachers to communicate, because communication also helps them know what's coming up ahead. And then if you're going to make any major changes to this to the schedule or to the studio, it is still your business. However, it is a very good idea to always communicate with them and let them know what changes are coming up ahead, because building a yoga teacher tribe is much like a relationship. There has to be trust, there has to be respect, and there has to be communication. So trust, respect, and communication. Those are the 3 key pillars of building a loyal yoga teacher tribe within your community. It's making sure you're covering those 3 things, because if you cover those, more than likely you'll succeed. Now, you will have those rogue yoga teachers, it's out there very much so, that are just there to come in and just do whatever they want to do and then take off. It happens everywhere. But pre-screening them, making sure that you're always communicating with them, being respectful, and then that you're showing compassion, and you're helping their journey, because they do have a journey and they continue to want to grow. And sometimes if you're offering a training, give them a discount or give them a special rate. There's a lot of different ways to offer perks to offset the pay scale that happens throughout the year. So hopefully that gave you some insight on building a loyal yoga teacher tribe within your community. And if you don't have one, start networking with them. Look at other certifications that they may have that you don't, and that could help grow your yoga business or launch into where you're expected to go. And we can't do it all together, so we need to surround ourselves with other yoga teachers that can support us, our vision. And as long as we're faithful to them and we take care of them in those ways that we just talked about, you can continue to grow your tribe. And then also, it's a good idea when you're growing your tribe. Sometimes one of them may be sick and you're not able to fill that in. So it's a good way to prevent something like that, where you don't have to cancel a class. It's so easy for you to just reach out to someone else that you have close connections to and be able to take over that class. Even if they're not even a part of the studio, it's a very good way to start that communication and that building that trust and relationship with them. So hopefully this has helped you with a little bit of insight of how to pay them, taking care of them, nurturing them, and then also helping them with their yoga teacher journey. So this is Raphael, and if you want to know a little bit more about what I just talked about, we have a private community where we all gather, and it's absolutely free. Just go to yogatribe.co, and request to log in, and we'll let you in our community and then show you everything else that we have to show you as well. So I hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.